All right, guys, here we are with Karan Ashley. You may recognize her as Aisha from Mighty Morphin. She was the second Yellow Ranger. There it is. And we're going to ask her a few questions.
The first one we'd like to ask you is, what was your most memorable moment on the set? I'm sure you have so many.
Oh, man.
What was your most memorable moment?
You know what? I think the most memorable moment, if I really had to pick one, would be the first day I was on set. You know, we came on set and we were super nervous because we found out we were going to be taking the place of some other Rangers. And so I just remember being like, oh my gosh, this is going to be, you know, what are we walking into? This is like a team, it's a hit show. And then the other three showed up and they walked right up to us and they were like, welcome to the show, we're so happy you're here. And I just remember the nerves just went away. And I was like ready to just go. I was super excited.
Speaking of taking over for Rangers, I would have to say, as far as power transfers go, the three of you did the best transition between two characters.
We were very lucky because the writers, they did spend a lot of time, and they honestly kept saying, you know, the kids love those three characters and they love the show and we don't want to let them down. So they did. They spent a lot of time letting you kind of get to know us because we didn't just show up and become Rangers.
Right.
We spent some time and we were just regular teenagers. And I think that was the best thing. And then once we became Rangers, it was like when we pulled those masks off and they realized it was us, it was like everyone was like, oh my gosh, I was hoping it was you, you know? So it just, they built that excitement up.
Right. That actually answered our second question, which would have been what was it like filling the shoes of the actress before? But
I was so I mean, honestly, she's so loved. So for a minute, I was scared and nervous, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it completely different. I don't think Aisha should be Trini because Trini is amazing. So Aisha has to just be different. And when I kind of wrapped my mind around that, then it was great because then I knew that you're going to love me for the character that I'm creating. So.
And being diehard fans, we felt you did a great job.
Thank you.
It, like you said, it wasn't replacing Trini. You made her the own character.
No one could ever replace Trini. She's like, I always tell fans, like they're always like, you know, I love her and she's mine. And I go, you know what? And you should. Because she got this party started. She was the original Yellow. She had such grace, such beauty. And, you know, the cool thing about Aisha is she was just a bubbly, you know, girl that got to be a superhero. So, you know, there's room to love both of us.
Exactly.
We already asked a question about you coming in and power transferring. Now we kind of want to talk about you leaving and transferring your power. What do you think was...
That transition wasn't as good.
What do you think the inspiration was for Aisha to kind of stay in Africa? And,
you know what, I honestly, if I'm being honest and if I'm keeping it real, I don't know that there was much inspiration because when I talked to the producers and we talked about me leaving, they were supposed to write 10 episodes and kind of like do the same thing and gradually, you know, she leaves and it would be more of like me and Tanya where we're supposed to become friends and it was supposed to be more of a thing. And then the next time I went to set, they were like, this is your last day, walk across. Like, I honestly...
By the way...
It was, and they were like, just walk across and hand this to the you know, and that was it. It was so like unclimactic and I just felt terrible for the fans and I was just like, dang, anybody who loved Aisha, it's just like all of a sudden she's not there. So I'm glad, you know, now that you guys are older, you know, it was, you know, but I don't know if there was any motivation. I wish they would have put a little energy into it, even if it wasn't 10 episodes. I mean, just kind of explain it a little bit.
All right, last question. We know The Order is coming up soon. Any other projects you're working on that you want to plug?
You know, I'm producing The Order, so it's taken over my life.
I bet.
So right now, I do have a couple of things that I can't really talk about, but The Order is kind of what I eat, sleep, and breathe, and we're in the process of negotiating our distribution. So hopefully we'll be shooting by the summer, and hopefully we'll have a team by the end of the year. So keep praying for us, and thanking all the fans for supporting us.
One last thing I'd like to say, you might not realize this, but the first social media shout out you did was to Chris and Tom, and that was us.
Right, oh my God. Full circle, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I love it.
thank you for that shout out.
You're
That was
welcome.
fantastic.
And thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
I love it. You know what? I had a podcast, and I love when you guys have one, and I'm just so thankful that you take the time to talk to me. You guys are the reason why Power Rangers has been around we'll be celebrating 25 years next year, and it's because of the fans.
Excited, yeah.
It's not because of us; it's because of the fans. So thank you.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Morphin' time.
There you go. Go away.